Welcome back, I'm Captain Xavier, and this is the continuation of my end of the year project vlog. And today I'm doing a blaster that was not even mentioned in the plan video because I hadn't actually planned to do this one. I'd basically forgotten it existed. Luckily, someone in the comments mentioned it, which is why I read my comments. I get so many great ideas. And that is my minimized Hera. Can I make the minimized Hera take a proton pack? Well, absolutely I can. There actually is a gizmo made by Out of Darts specifically for that purpose, which is this hose attachment that is designed to be grafted onto the bottom of a rival magazine. So you take a rival magazine, you cut it somewhere, and then you graft this onto the bottom, and then the proton pack just feeds into the magazine. You take out the follower, you take out the spring, all of that, and now it should just feed directly into it. Now I'm slightly curious how this big air gap, if I need to seal that, perhaps? I don't need it open, because normally that's where the follower goes, so I'll try it without covering it, and then I'll try covering it and see if it makes any difference. I think the proton pack has enough power that it can just push up there anyway. It shouldn't be an issue, but we will find out. So I've marked where I'm going to cut it. I'm just going to cut that line right there and then graft this on. I might be able to make it a little bit shorter, and I will try that. We will see. It kind of depends on how it fits onto this, which I don't know until I actually cut it. We will then, of course, put our universal attachment on the bottom of that, and that'll allow us to feed the hose. Now, the question of power. The battery goes up here. However, it turns out there is a small gap in the shell right here, and I'm just going to open that up just enough so that I can feed the power cord up through there. So it will just go in and plug into the battery housing, the normal battery location, which should work just fine. Hopefully I've got enough, I have more than enough cable, because this cable is much longer than it needs to be because it's wrapped around here specifically for that purpose. So that shouldn't be an issue. So it'll be just a little bit of dremeling back there, cut and attach, and take it to the range. So let's get this going. All right, we've got that attached, not permanently, but I've made the cut. This now fits right in there. I'll just need to glue it in place once I make sure everything is fitting correctly. Rounds do go in, they don't get caught, so no issue there. And now I just need to, one, permanently attach that, add the hose, and Dremel a hole. Permanently attached. I don't am I fogging up? I'm probably fogging up. I don't trust glue, so I went ahead and added a couple of screws that are in there in such a way that they absolutely do not interfere with the balls. So we're good. That's not coming off of there. All right, unless I wanted to, which is the upside. I could take it off if I did want it to. Hose. I need some hose. Where's some hose? There's a little hose. All right, we now have a hose connected. We're good. Now, let's see how much dremeling we are going to have to do. Shouldn't be much at all. All right, we have the battery hole cut and wired. Plug in the proton pack. So what happens when I pull the rev trigger? Nothing. Why not? Fascinating. Bust it open, figure out what's wrong. Aha! I think I found it. Yep. Okay. It was a broken solder joint. So, I'm gonna fire up the soldering iron. Fix that real quick. Alright, we try again. And now, to the range! Right, I'm here on the range. I have my minimized Hera. I've got my 8 targets. Now we're gonna see how long it takes me to hit them all down, which, given this is semi-automatic, it might take a lot. It might not take many at all. We gonna find out. Would end up being the last ones that take forever. And I got them both with the last shot. Well, one thing I've noticed, it's only firing every other shot, every other trigger pull, and I'm not sure why that is. Not having a problem now. Well, maybe I am. I don't know, man. I don't know. Might have been a bit of grit that finally worked its way through. I don't know. Must have been, because it's working beautifully now. So what I said earlier about it not working in every trigger pull, forget all of that. It's all lies. Lies, lies, lies. Lies. More lies. Ah, there, I definitely hit the 75. Right. Running low on ammo now, which means I actually used more rounds than I did with some of the other ones. Yeah. You know what? Let's finish off the tank. Round's complete. Now I gotta go clean all this up. Garden Weasel, get yourself one. Right, well, what are my thoughts on this thing? Well, I will be perfectly honest with you all. It worked far, far better than I was expecting it to. Once that feed issue resolved itself, I assume it was just a bit of grit in there that was keeping the balls from loading as well as they should on the result of I'm using dirty ammo picked up off the ground in the wet season in the Pacific Northwest. Once it was reliably feeding, it was really a lot of fun, as demonstrated by the fact that I ended up going through the whole tank because I was just having too much fun with it. And so while my initial thought would have been would not be a particularly efficient use of a proton pack, I've definitely changed that opinion, and now I actually think this would make a really good option for something like HVZ, because you have the inordinately high capacity of a proton pack and the convenience of high capacity with a proton pack, because it's you know, all the weight's on the backpack, it's not in your blaster. But you have the control of semi-automatic. You can pop off rounds fairly quickly if you want to, you know, pull the trigger really quick, but you can do single shot, which means your ammo is going to last all day. Whether your battery will last all day would be the other question, depending on how often you're revving and how long you're revving for. You could end up burning through your battery before you burned through all of the ammo. I don't know. I would have to actually field this thing to know for sure, and it's unlikely that I would field this over my various other options. But I might end up lending it to someone else to field at some point, so who knows? I was pleasantly pleased. Now, the whole reason I did this was because of a comment. Now, the most common comment I think I've gotten is people asking if you could use a Springer, a pump-action Springer, say, with a proton pack. And yes, it has been done, and yes, I do intend to demonstrate how you would do it. So stay tuned for that eventually. I don't know when in this whole process that'll happen, or even if it will happen as part of this build project, or if I may put it off until later. But I will cover springers and proton packs. The Out of Darts proton pack is designed to make that possible. And it's actually really, really simple to implement on the proton pack side. Making it functional and practical on the blaster side might be a little bit more difficult, but I am going to give it a try. So stay tuned for that, and thank you for watching. Ha ha!